Hey everybody, welcome back.
Mom said, "Take a break from family events, your kid is too much." I just nodded and left. 2 weeks later, they saw photos of us at a private resort trip with cousins. My mom's first text, "Why didn't you invite us?" I shouted in a voice message this. My mother told me my 4-year-old daughter was too much for family gatherings. She said it the way you'd complain about a neighbor's dog. Not her granddaughter. Not Lily, the kid who waves at every single person in the grocery store. That child was too much. And you know what I did? I nodded, picked up my purse, grabbed Lily's hand and walked out without a word. I saved my tears for the car. But what happened 2 weeks later? That's where this gets good. My mother thought she was punishing me. She had no idea she was setting me free. Let me back up so you understand. My name is Ruthie. I'm 31, I live outside Richmond, Virginia, and my entire life I've been chasing my mother Diane's approval like it was a trophy I could never reach. You ever know someone who makes you feel like you're auditioning just to exist near them? That's my mom. Everything was always about her image. The house, my clothes, my grades. Not because she cared about me. Because she wanted something to brag about at church. My stepdad Gerald came into the picture when I was 9 and honestly he was the best thing that ever happened to our family. Quiet, solid man. Retired postal worker. Always smells like coffee and would stain from whatever he's building in the garage. He showed up to my school plays. He taught me to drive. He sat with me on the porch when I was 17 and said, "Ruthie, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be honest." My mom was inside watching TV. Fast forward to my mid-20s. I made the worst decision of my life. I married a man named Todd. Do you ever look back at something and wonder how you missed every red flag? Because they were everywhere. Todd was charming at first. Flowers, compliments opened every door. 6 months and he changed. The first time he grabbed my arm hard enough to bruise, I made excuses. The second time I wore long sleeves in July. The third time Gerald noticed. Gerald didn't yell. He just looked at me and said, "Ruthie, you deserve more than this." And my mother? When I finally told her, she said, "Well, what did you do to make him angry?" Can you imagine? Your own mother telling you that you earned your own abuse? I left Todd eventually. Took longer than it should have, but I did it. Packed a bag at midnight, drove to Gerald's workshop and told him everything. He had me in the guest room that same night. My mom complained I was disrupting the household. Gerald told her to stop. First time I ever heard him push back on her. Then came Lily. My daughter. The light of my whole world. No, Todd is not her father. Thank God. It's just me and Lily. Well, me, Lily and Gerald. Now here's the thing. My mom hosts these big family dinners. Holidays, random weekends, the whole production. My Aunt Brenda, my cousins Shelby and Marcus, neighbors, everyone. And for years I showed up, brought food, helped clean, played the grateful daughter. But Lily is 4. She's loud and energetic. She once knocked over a vase and my mom reacted like the child committed a crime. A home goods vase. Not some family heirloom. So about a month ago I show up to one of these dinners. Lily's running around with Marcus's kids, laughing, being a normal child. My mom pulls me into the kitchen and says, "Ruthie, I think you should take a break from family events. Lily is just too much. She's wild and I can't have her destroying my home." You know that feeling when your chest gets tight and your brain has 100 responses but nothing comes out? I wanted to scream. Instead I just said, "Okay, Mom." And I left. I cried for an hour. Then I called my cousin Shelby. Shelby is my ride or die. Aunt Brenda's daughter, 2 years older than me, dental hygienist, zero filter. I told her everything and she said, "Ruthie, your mama just did you the biggest favor of her life and she doesn't even know it." He was right. Because here's what my mother didn't know. I'd been saving money for over a year. A little from every paycheck at the pediatric clinic where I work. Almost $4,000. And Shelby had an idea. "Let's take a trip. You, me, Marcus, the kids. Somewhere nice. Somewhere your mama would lose her mind over if she saw it online." Do you think I said no? I absolutely did not. Within a week I booked a long weekend at a private resort near Virginia Beach. Pool, ocean view, the works. I invited Shelby, Marcus, his wife Janelle and all the kids. I paid for everything. Every room, every meal, every overpriced poolside smoothie. And we took so many pictures. Lily building sandcastles. Me and Shelby in matching sunglasses. Marcus grilling on the deck like he had his own cooking show. It was the happiest I'd felt in years. Then I posted them. All of them. Right where I knew my mother would see. 2 days later my phone buzzes. A text from Mom. "Why didn't you invite us?" I read it 15 times. Why didn't you invite us? Like she didn't just tell me to stay away. Like she didn't just call my daughter too much. Something in me snapped, not the crying kind. The I am done kind. I didn't text back. I sent a voice message. And I shouted, You told me to take a break from family events. You said my child was too much. So I took a break from you and spent that time with the family that actually wants us around. Don't you dare act hurt when you're the one who pushed us out. Hit send. Now do you think she apologized? Oh, you sweet, optimistic people. Oh, she did something so much worse. Something that didn't just make me angry, it put me in actual danger. And it involved someone I never wanted to see again in my life. I'll tell you about that very soon. So after that voice message, my mom went quiet. No calls, no texts, nothing for almost a week. And honestly, that silence felt like peace. For the first time in years, I wasn't walking on eggshells. I was just living, taking Lily to the park, cooking dinner without dreading my phone ringing, laughing with Gerald on his porch while he sanded down some bookshelf he was building for Lily's room. It was simple and it was beautiful. But you know how they say the calm before the storm? Yeah. It was a Thursday evening when Gerald called me. And Gerald doesn't call unless it matters. He's a texter, always these short little messages like, Lily good? Or, got extra tomatoes, want some? So when I saw his name pop up with an actual phone call, I knew something was off. He said, Ruthie, your mother is planning a family cookout this Saturday. She told me to tell you you're invited. I almost laughed. She kicked me out of family events, Gerald. Now she wants me back. He got quiet for a second. Then he said, I think you should know who else she invited. My stomach dropped before he even said the name. Todd. She invited Todd. My ex-husband. The man who bruised my arms. The man I fled from at midnight. The man I spent 2 years recovering from. My mother invited him to a family cookout and expected me to just show up and be fine with it. Can you even wrap your head around that? Because I couldn't. I sat on my kitchen floor holding the phone and I couldn't even speak. Gerald was still on the line and I could hear him breathing, waiting. Finally I whispered, why would she do that? And Gerald said something that broke my heart. He said, because she's angry, Ruthie. And when your mother gets angry, she doesn't think about who she hurts. Now let me tell you what was going through my mind. Part of me wanted to drive over there and scream at her. Part of me wanted to pretend it didn't matter. But mostly I was scared. Not of Todd showing up at a cookout. I was scared of what it meant that my own mother would use the worst chapter of my life as a weapon against me. I called Shelby. Shelby lost it. I mean, completely lost it. She was yelling so loud I had to pull the phone away from my ear. She said things about my mother that I cannot repeat here, but honestly every word was deserved. Then she calmed down and said, you're not going. And I'm not going either. Marcus isn't going. Janelle isn't going. If your mama wants to have a cookout with your abuser, she can do it alone. And that's exactly what happened. Saturday came. I stayed home with Lily. We made pancakes shaped like stars. Or at least we tried. They mostly looked like blobs, but Lily thought they were perfect. Shelby came over with her son Damon and we had our own little day. Movies, popcorn, the kids running around the backyard. It was good. But here's the part that surprised me more than anything. Gerald didn't go either. Let that sink in. Gerald, my stepdad, my mother's husband, did not go to her cookout. He came to my house instead. Showed up with a bag of burgers and said, I told your mother what she did was wrong. She didn't listen. So I'm here. Do you understand what that meant to me? This man chose me. He chose his stepdaughter over keeping the peace with his own wife. I cried. I'm not ashamed to say that. I stood in my doorway and cried while this 63-year-old man in his old postal service cap held a grocery bag and looked at me like I was his own daughter. But to him I am. My mother was furious. Apparently the cookout was a disaster. Only a few neighbors showed up. Todd came, ate, and left within an hour. Aunt Brenda refused to come once Shelby told her what was going on. So there was my mom sitting in her decorated backyard with half-empty chairs and a table full of food nobody wanted. Do I feel bad? Honestly, a tiny part of me does. She's still my mother. But the bigger part of me thinks, you did this to yourself, Diane. After that, things shifted. My mom started texting Gerald nonstop. Not me, him. Asking when he was coming home, saying he was being dramatic, telling him I was manipulating him against her. Gerald didn't argue. He just stayed in his workshop, slept in the guest room and came to see me and Lily almost every day. And here's what really got to my mom. Gerald started posting too. Nothing dramatic. Just little things. A picture of Lily sitting on his lap while he read to her. A video of her helping him sand a piece of wood, wearing his safety glasses that were way too big for her face. Simple sweet stuff. And people loved it. His friends from church, old coworkers, neighbors, everyone commenting about what a great grandpa he was. My mom didn't comment on a single one. But she was watching. Oh, she was watching. About 2 weeks after the cookout disaster, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer, but something told me to pick up. It was Todd. He said, "Hey Ruthie, I just wanted you to know, your mom's been calling me. She asked me to come to another dinner next week. I told her no. I was stunned. Todd, the same Todd who hurt me, was telling me this is some kind of warning? He said, "Look, I know I messed up. I'm not trying to get back in your life. But what your mom's doing isn't right. She told me you've been having a hard time and that you missed me. That's what she said to get me to the cookout." I didn't know the real story until Gerald called me after. Wait, Gerald called Todd? Yes. Gerald actually called my ex-husband and told him the truth. Told him that my mother was using him to hurt me. And Todd, whatever else he is, apparently had enough decency to back off and let me know what was happening behind the scenes. Thanked him. It was weird and uncomfortable and I never want to speak to him again, but I thanked him. After that call, I sat in my living room and just stared at the wall. My mother wasn't just being petty anymore. She was actively trying to bring someone dangerous back into my life. That's not anger. That's cruelty. And I realized something. I had spent 31 years hoping she would become the mother I needed. She wasn't going to. I made a decision that night. I told Gerald and he supported me completely. I told Shelby and she said it was long overdue. But what that decision was and what it led to, that changed everything. Not just for me and Lily. For my entire family. Even for my mom. Especially for my mom. Because what's coming next, she never saw it coming. And honestly, neither did I. So the decision I made that night was this. I was done. Not done being angry, not done arguing. Done. As in, I sat down at my kitchen table after Lily went to sleep and I wrote my mother a letter. Not a text, not a voice message. A real letter on paper in my own handwriting. And this is basically what it said. Mom, I love you. I will probably always love you. But I can't keep letting you hurt me and call it family. You told me my daughter wasn't welcome. You invited the man who abused me into a space where I was supposed to feel safe. You chose your pride over your granddaughter. I'm not doing this anymore. If you ever want to be part of our lives again, it has to be different. But until then, I need you to leave me alone. I mailed it the next morning. Actual stamp, actual mailbox. Gerald offered to deliver it himself, but I said no. I wanted her to open it alone, read it alone, and sit with it alone. The way she made me feel all those years. And then I waited. The first few days were hard, I'm not going to lie. Every time my phone buzzed, I flinched. But she didn't call. Didn't text. Nothing. A week passed. Then Shelby kept checking on me, asking if I was okay, and honestly most days I was. Lily and I fell into this nice little rhythm. School drop-off, work, pick her up, dinner, bedtime stories, repeat. Gerald came over on weekends and built Lily this incredible little bookshelf shaped like a tree. She put every single one of her books on it and then added some stuffed animals for decoration. That man's heart is pure gold. About 3 weeks after I sent the letter, something happened that I did not expect. Aunt Brenda called me. Now Aunt Brenda is my mom's older sister. They're close, or at least they were. Brenda is one of those women who says exactly what she thinks and never apologizes for it. She told me, "Ruthie, I went to see your mother yesterday. She looks terrible. He's barely eating. The house is a mess. Gerald's sleeping in the workshop most nights." I didn't know what to say. Part of me felt guilty. But Brenda wasn't calling to guilt me. She said, "I'm not telling you this so you'll go running back. I'm telling you because I sat your mother down and I told her everything she didn't want to hear. I told her she was losing her daughter, her granddaughter, and her husband, all because she can't admit she was wrong." Can you imagine someone finally saying that to her? Because nobody ever had. My whole life, everyone just let Diane be Diane. Gerald kept the peace. I stayed quiet. Even Shelby mostly just vented about her behind her back. But Brenda went right to her face and said it. And apparently my mom cried. Which, I'll be honest, I didn't think she was capable of. That sounds terrible, but when someone has been cold to you your entire life, you kind of forget they have feelings too. Brenda said she cried for a long time and then finally said, "I don't know how to fix this." Brenda told her, "You start by being honest. Not with Ruthie. With yourself." Now I want to be real with you here. When Brenda told me all this, I didn't jump up and say, "Great, let's reconcile." That's not how real life works. 31 years of damage doesn't get fixed because someone cried once. I told Brenda, "I hear you, but I'm not ready." And she respected that. She said, "Take your time, baby. You've earned it." About a week later, Gerald told me my mom had asked him to come back to the main bedroom. He said no. He told her, "I'll come back when you make things right with Ruthie and Lily." My stepdad, this quiet, gentle, non-confrontational man, drew a line in the sand for me. Do you know how rare that is? To have someone love you enough to be uncomfortable for you? Then one afternoon I'm picking Lily up from preschool and my phone rings. It's my mom. I stared at the screen through 2 full rings before I answered. I don't even know why I picked up. Maybe curiosity. Maybe exhaustion. Maybe some stupid part of me still hoping. She said, Ruthie. And then she was quiet for so long I thought the call dropped. Then she said, I got your letter. I've read it probably 40 times. I didn't say anything. She said, I don't know when I became this person. I look at myself and I don't like what I see. I invited Todd because I wanted to hurt you. I can admit that now. I wanted to hurt you because you were happy without me and I couldn't stand it. Let me just say, hearing your mother admit she intentionally tried to hurt you is one of the strangest feelings in the world. It's not satisfying. It's not a victory. It just feels heavy. She said, I understand if you never forgive me. But I want to try. I want to know my granddaughter. I want to be better. I don't know how, but I want to try. I sat in the preschool parking lot with Lily babbling in the back seat about some art project and I cried. Not the angry kind. Not even the sad kind. Just the kind that comes when you've been holding your breath for years and someone finally says the thing you needed to hear. I told her, I'm not ready to come back to family dinners, Mom. I'm not ready to pretend everything's fine. But if you want to meet Lily and me for ice cream on Saturday, you can do that. Just us. No performance. No audience. She said yes before I even finished the sentence. That Saturday we met at this little ice cream shop off Main Street. Lily got strawberry and got it all over her face within 30 seconds. My mom sat across from us and she watched Lily like she was seeing her for the first time. Maybe she was. She didn't criticize anything. Didn't comment on the mess. Didn't sigh or roll her eyes. She just watched her granddaughter be a kid and for once she smiled about it. At one point Lily held out her spoon and said, Grandma, try some. My mom took a bite and said, That's the best ice cream I've ever had. And Lily beamed. It wasn't a fairy tale. We didn't hug and say I love you and drive off into the sunset. When it was over, I put Lily in the car and my mom stood in the parking lot looking like she wanted to say more. I just said, This was good, Mom. Let's do it again. She nodded. We've had 4 ice cream dates since then. Just the 3 of us. No family events, no cookouts, no pressure. Gerald joins sometimes. He and my mom are doing better. Not perfect, but better. He moved back into the bedroom last week. I asked him if she'd really changed and he said, She's trying, Ruthie. I think she's actually trying. Shelby thinks I'm too soft. She told me, that woman invited your abuser to a barbecue and you're buying her ice cream? And I get it. I do. But here's the thing. Shelby didn't hear my mom's voice on that phone call. Shelby didn't see her face when Lily offered her that spoon. People can change. Not always. Not everyone. But sometimes. Am I naive? Maybe. Am I going to let her hurt me again? Absolutely not. I have boundaries now. Real ones. And my mom knows that if she crosses them, I'm gone for good. No letter next time. Just silence. But right now, today, my daughter has a grandmother who is learning how to show up. I have a stepdad who showed me what real love looks like. I have a cousin who would go to war for me. And I have a mother who is finally, slowly, painfully learning that family isn't about control. It's about showing up even when it's messy. Especially when it's messy. Lily asked me the other day, Mommy, does Grandma like me now? And I said, Baby, Grandma always liked you. She just forgot how to show it. Lily thought about that for a second and said, That's silly. And you know what? He's right. It is silly. It's silly that it took all of this. The exile, the cookout, the voice messages, the letter, Gerald sleeping in a workshop. For my mother to remember that her granddaughter is not too much. He's exactly enough. So that's my story. At least so far. It's not over. Real life doesn't have neat endings. But I'm in a good place. Lily's in a good place. And for the first time I think my mom might get to a good place too. If any of this hit home for you, I'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment, tell me what you think. Did I handle it the right way? Would you have done something different? I'm genuinely curious because I second-guess myself all the time. If you like this story, leave a like. It means more than you know. And if something didn't sit right with you, that's okay too, share your thoughts. Every perspective matters to me. Thank you so much for listening. Seriously. Sometimes just knowing someone out there heard your story makes all the difference. Take care of yourselves and take care of the people who actually show up for you. They're the ones who matter. They're the ones who matter. They're the ones who matter.
Today I'm reacting to your absolutely demented wedding drama. These are all from the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. If you haven't followed that subreddit, what are you waiting for? Get involved in the community, share your stories. I'm having so much fun reading them. And don't forget to like and comment and upvote other people's stuff. And maybe, just maybe, you might see your story on the channel. God, now I'm gonna be doing these videos and like getting inspo. Some of you watch these videos and you're like,
how do I not be a bridezilla? Oh, I will watch Charlotte's videos.
I will watch my videos and say, okay, how do I be even more demented on my wedding day? Inspo! Let's make Pinterest boards. Am I the a-hole for leaving my husband during our wedding day? This is from Reddit user Qley. I, 28 female, left my husband, 29 male, on our wedding day, and now I'm questioning if I was in the wrong. Well, I'll tell you, honey. But first, we've been together for 5 years and engaged for 1. Throughout our relationship, there were moments of doubt, but I always brushed them off, thinking it was just pre-wedding jitters. Okay. I'm gonna need you to elaborate, honey. Our families and friends were excited and the planning went smoothly. My husband is a charming and charismatic guy and everyone seems to adore him. The wedding day itself started off beautifully. The weather was perfect, the venue was stunning, and everything was going according to plan. I feel like I was living a dream as I walked down the aisle toward him. The ceremony was emotional and I was overwhelmed with joy and love as we exchanged our vows. After the ceremony, everything seems great. What's going on, bestie? We moved to the reception. The venue was decorated with twinkling lights, flowers, and everything I've ever dreamed of. As everything progressed, everyone seemed to be having a great time. There were speeches, toasts, and lots of dancing. I felt so happy and blessed thinking about the life we were about to start together. However, during the reception, something happened that changed everything. I went to the bridal suite to freshen up and overheard my husband having a conversation with his best man just outside the door. Oh God, did anyone else's heart rates just like pitter patter, pitter patter? At first I thought it was just typical guy talk, but then I heard him say something that made my blood run cold.